So we have discussed a definition of electrochemistry. It is nothing but the study of relationship between chemical and chemical transformation or chemical reactions and the generated electrical energy. And to study this electrochemistry, there is use of electrochemical cell, which actually converts chemical energy into electrical energy and electrical energy to the chemical energy. So for that, we have discussed five important points. The concentration of the electrode potential will determine the analyte concentration. Then second point, concentration of the analyte at the electrode surface may not be the same with the bulk solution. The oxidation and reduction which is happening on that electrode surface, along with this reaction, the analyte may also participate in another reactions also. Then whatever amount of current is flowing through these analyte oxidation reaction, it is a measure of the redox type of reactions. And lastly, we cannot control both, that is potential and current simultaneously, or we cannot move, kept constant both these parameters at one time. If we are going to kept current constant, that time we can measure the potential, that is difference in the potential will be happen. Or when we are going to vary the potential difference, that time we can keep the current at a constant parameter. So we have classified the classification of electrochemical cell is basically into electrolytic cell and galvanic cell. Electrolytic cell will convert electrical energy into chemical energy with a non-spontaneous redox reaction. But in the case of voltaic cell, there is a spontaneous redox reaction, conversion of chemical energy into the electrical energy. So we have classified anodes and cathodes for the electrolytic cell as well as galvanic and voltaic cell. So the anode, if it is in the electrolytic cell, it is positively charged, whereas cathode is negatively charged in the case of electrolytic cell. But opposite is the case with the galvanic and voltaic cell. Anode is negatively charged and cathode is positively charged. Now, the redox reactions, they are happening on the surface of these electrodes. Now, what is oxidation? Redox will be in which there is oxidation and reduction will be happening simultaneously. So, in the case of oxidation, there is loss of electrons, which will cause increasing in the oxidation state. So, here the silver ion will loses its electrons, and it will convert into the oxidized state of silver ion, that is Ag plus. So whenever we are going to write this Cu plus, Ag plus, Hg plus, these are the oxidized states of those metal ions. And what is reduction? So the gain of electron which causes decreasing in the oxidation state. Now see here, this hydrogen atom, it is available in the oxidized state as he has loses its electron. But this H plus ion, in order to stability pattern or the stability behavior, he will accept the electron, and it is converted or it is converged into an neutral state, that is half of H2. Now, difference in the construction between the electrolytic cell and galvanic or voltaic cell. Now, we all know electrolytic cell is the conversion of chemical conversion of electrical energy into the chemical energy, and galvanic and voltaic cell will convert chemical energy into the electrical energy. So what is the construction and the apparatus difference between this? See here, in the case of galvanic cell, energy is released by the spontaneous redox reaction which are happening on the surface of cathode and anode. Now, due to the chemical reactions they are happening in this cell itself, they will convert or they will responsible to convert this reaction into the electrical energy. So the conversion of this chemical reaction which is happening between this anode and cathode to generate the electrical energy is known as galvanic cell, as they will convert redox reaction into the electrical energy. But in the case of electrolytic cell, With the supply of current or the electrical energy, there is a formation and a generation of chemical transformation, and the source of this is the electrical energy, which is used to drive the non-spontaneous redox reactions on the cell. So this is electrolytic cell. See here, due to the flow of chemical or flow of electrons from anode to the cathode, this energy, that is the generation of electrical energy, will be happening. It is galvanic cell, and with the help of electrical supply or with the help of electrical energy, the non-spontaneous reaction will be happening. It is known as electrolytic cell. So this is the difference between the electrolytic cell and galvanic and voltaic cell. Now, what will be the ideal design pattern for the electrochemical cell? How it is designed, or who is actually present? What are the components of the electrochemical cell? Now, for drawing of the cell diagram, we follow some of the convention or some of the rule to draw the diagram or the cell diagram of this electrochemical cell. Now, the anode is also always placed in the left hand side. So, the anode, which is to be taken part in this reaction, they are always written on the left hand side. Now, in the case of electrochemical cell also, the anodes, that is copper wire, it is placed on the left hand side, and the cathode, it's placed on the right hand side. So the salt bridge, which is represented by the double vertical line, when we are going to recognize, or when we are going to write this diagram in the form of cell diagram, so this double line is nothing but the double vertical line is nothing but the salt bridge, which is there in this electrochemical cell. Now the difference in the phase of the element is represented by the, now the difference in the phase of element. So the here copper electrode, which is in the solid state, and as this electrode is deep into the copper sulfate solution, so that's this it is nothing but the oxidized state. So both of them, they are differentiated or they are represented by a single line. This single line will represent the phase of the element with the help of this single line, while changes in the oxidation states, they are represented by the commas. If there is any change in the oxidized state of these anodes and cathodes will be happening, they are represented by the comma. So in this way, we can represent the whole electron of the whole cell of the electrochemical cell in the form of cell diagram. Now, the concentration of the aqueous solutions are written in the parentheses after the symbol of the ion or the molecule. Now, if we are going to take an example of this reaction in which the copper is oxidized, silver is oxidized, and silver is oxidized and copper is reduced. So it is a cell of containing the silver ions and copper ions. So two half reactions, because at anode copper will be oxidized, so the copper is converted into its oxidized state, Cu2 plus there is a generation of electrons, and the silver ion is already in the oxidized state. It will accept the loose electrons which are loosed by the silver ions in that medium. So these electrons are accepted by the silver ion to convert it into an reduced state, that is Ag+. So the half cell is when electrons are immersed in solution containing ions of the same metal, they are called as half cell. So when these electrons they are immersed in a solution containing ions of the same metal. So for example, if the silver electrode, it is deep in the solution containing ions of the same metal, that cell is known as half cell, because we have represented only one electron which is deep in the solution of its own ions, common ions. So it is nothing but the half cell. Now, before we move actually towards the cell, this is a salt bridge. It is always there, which is deep in both the tubes containing different electrons. Now, what is a half cell? See here, this zinc electrode is deep in the solution of zinc sulfate. This copper electrode is deep in the solution of copper sulfate. So one of this apparatus or one of this beaker will represent a half cell. Now the salt bridge, it is an wire or the apparatus which is deeper, which we are going to deep in both the solution. So it is basically the U-shaped tube containing an electrolyte, typically in the form of gel. So this salt bridge will contain the electrolytes in the form of gel, and they are providing the electrical contact between the two solutions. So this presence of this salt bridge will provide the electrical contact between both the solutions. Now, the electrolytes used to prepare the salt bridge, they are generally potassium nitrate, potassium chloride, and ammonium nitrate. So they are basically used to prepare the salt bridge, which we are going to deep in the different solutions containing zinc sulfate and copper sulfate. So this is a complete cell in which zinc as an electron which is deep in the zinc sulfate solution, whereas or different electrodes, that is a solution of copper sulfate will contain an electron copper. Now cell potential. What is cell potential? It is the phenomenon difference between the two electrons. So the cell potential is nothing but whatever amount of potential is generated against this electrochemical cell or galvanic or voltaic cell. It is the potential difference between the anode and cathode. Whatever amount of potential difference is generated with respect to the cathode and anode is known as cell potential, because they are generated across the cathodes and anode. Now, in the case of standard state, the potential difference generated across this cell is equal to the potential difference which is generated at cathode minus the potential difference which is generated at the anode. So different types of electrodes, that is the reference electrode and the indicator electrode. So what is reference electrode? It is the electrode whose potential is known and remain constant throughout the functioning of the electrochemical cell. So the electrode whose potential is continuously constant, that constant potential difference or potential containing electrode is known as reference electrode. Because it is used for the comparison, it is used for the calculation of the potential difference across the another electrodes. For example, the example of reference electrode is saturated carbon electrode, and the potential difference against the saturated carbon electrode is 0.242. Now, another type of electrode is indicator electrode. Now, what is the meaning of the word indicator electrode? It is an electrode is that whose potential is depending upon the activity of its ions being titrated or estimated. So whatever amounts of or whatever presence of ions they are in the solution, so the activity or the reactivity of these ions will determine the potential of this electrode. So the electrode whose potential is totally estimated on the basis of activity of ions, that electrode is known as indicator electrode. To carry out acid-base potentiometric titration, hydrogen gas, coenhydron electrode, and the gas electrodes are used as an indicator electrode. So, depending upon the activity of ions, these electrodes potentials are totally different. So, that type of electrodes are known as indicator electrodes. Now, what is the meaning of the word potentiometer or potentiometric titration? So, the principle and working of this potentiometric instrument or the titration, it is totally depending upon, it is the determination of equivalence point of titration on the basis of potential measurement by using a suitable setup of galvanic cell, and the suitable setup of galvanic cell used to measure the potential is called as potentiometric titration. So this is an ideal setup for the measurement of potential difference is known as potentiometric titration. Now the galvanic cell consists of two half cells. One half cell is called as indicator half cell and the second half cell is called as reference half cell. Now one is indicator because the cell activity will determine the potential on that electrode, that is indicator electrode, and another electrode with whom we are comparing the potential of this indicator electrode, that another electrode is known as reference electrode. So during potentiometric titration, the potential of the indicator half cell changes, whereas the potential of reference half cell remains constant. So when we are going to measure the potential of indicator, whose potential is to be changed due to the activity of ions, due to the flow of current, due to the presence of another electrode, that potential, that electrode is known as that electrode's potential is continuously changes, whereas the potential of reference half cell is remains constant. So the electrode potential on the activity of concentration of ion with which the electrode is reversible, it is given by the Nernst equation. So whatever amount of potential is to be generated, it's to be released on that electrode. It is measured by and it is given by the Nernst equation. What is Nernst equation? So the potential generated against this on the indicator electrode is equal to E0 minus 2.303 RT divided by N. So where this E is nothing but electrode potential which is to be measured, which is to be changed, that is indicator electrode. E0 is nothing but the standard electrode potential of the indicator electrode. Now N is the number of electrons they are involved in the electrode reactions. R is the gas constant. F is the Faraday's constant, which is basically 96,500 coulombs. Now, if we are going to take the potential difference, that is E0 minus 2.303 RT divided by NF multiplied by log to the base 10 A of the reduced state, that is analyte concentration of the reduced state divided by analyte concentration of the product of the activities of the species involved in the reduced state and the oxidized state. So during the potentiometric titration, it is observed that initially EMF changes gradually, ideally due to as there is presence of electrochemical cell, one reference electrode, another one indicator electrode. So the current will flow through the medium. So that time, initially the EMF changes regularly, or that sorry, gradually towards the equivalence point. It is quite rapid. So to achieve the equivalence point, initially there is change in the EMF, that is potential. Then after the equivalence point, it changes gradually. So towards the equivalence point or before the equivalence point, it is the EMF it changes gradually and quite rapidly. But after the equivalence point, it changes gradually. The equivalence point can therefore be determined by finding the quality of the titrant added and the point at which rate of change of EMF or the potential is maximum. So the equivalence point can therefore be determined by, so the equivalence point it is determined by finding the quality of the titration at the point at which rate of change of EMF potential is maximum. So the EMF of the cell after each addition of the titration is measured. The EMF of the cell after addition of each titration is measured. So the graph of potential uh, versus volume of titrant, or the EMF versus volume of titrant is, it is plotted from one equivalence point can be determined. So this is a graph of potential difference against volume of titrant. So it is basically reducing. So it is after that increasing gradually. But after the equivalence point, so this concentration or this changes will be happening. So the EMF of the cell after each addition of the titrant is measured. So whenever we are going to add titrant, it is measured. So the EMF of the cell after each addition of the titrant is measured, and the graph is plotted. So the graph of EMF, so the graph of potential versus the potential difference or the volume of titrant is plotted from which equivalence point can be. So this is all about our today's class. The remaining point we will discuss in the next class. So before we move or before we stop actually, we will discuss the just roles of reference electrode and indicator electrode. So the role of reference electrode is that electrode whose potential is known and remain constant. So असा electrode की ज्याचं potential is known and remain constant, that is standard Calomel electrode. And electrode whose electrode potential is depending upon the activity, it is known as indicator electrode. And indicator electrode for the acid base titration is acid base hydrogen is the ion being titrated, its concentration changes during the titration. Hence, in acid base titration, indicator electrode should be on electrode reversible to the hydrogen. So this is all about what we have discussed today.